you're just joining, you're onto the press on Kaftan Television. I'm Nikki Atta, and it's a beautiful midweek morning in the Federal Capital Territory of Abuja. Yes, this time around we're going straight into the interview segment. I'll tell you, the very first time I met Daniel Okechukwu, I liked him, though he did seem like a little uppity. Does this one greet? Does he greet? And I looked and said, good morning, ma. That's as quickly as I'm saying, good morning, ma. Yeah, it was a pleasure. And since then, I mean, he's just been a delight. It's a brilliant chap, the kind of people, you know, in other climes, they would have included him, you know, and actually advertised him as a youngest member of the government cabinet. Okay, so that's Daniel Okechukwu, who is our public affairs analyst. Good morning, Daniel. Thanks for joining.
Good morning.
You're the kind of guest I like because you don't give me any high blood pressure. Oh my God, are they doing African time? Are they? Oh my God. No, he was right here with us, like I said, in the building and in the studio. Daniel, thank you very much. You're a role model.
Oh, thank you.
We want more Nigerians like you.
Thank you.
All right. So, yesterday was Children's Day. Can you remember when you were a child? What did you used to do on Children's Day?
I didn't celebrate Children's Day for most times, but I usually played with my friends, but Children's Day was always good for me because it was a day where I took break, and most of the times, you know, my mom was very strict. I also used it to learn and study on areas that I needed to perform the best.
Did you really learn and study, or were you not eating? Did you
I ate a lot. I'm a foodie, so but I prioritize my learning. Yes.
Oh, I like you. Okay, so that's good. So we had children right even in the studio yesterday, and let me see, what did I used to do in Children's Day? I think I just used to goof around. Nothing special. Or probably I think we used to go out or something. I think there was an evening or afternoon outing. That was it. So, well, anyway, so much for that. But look at the plight of, or let me not say plight. Look at the state of Nigerian children now. What do you see?
Honestly, the dilemma is massive. It's superfluous. I was running the statistics and I see 11 plus children that are suffering from severe poverty. And Nigeria...
11 plus what? You mean one word? Million?
Million, yes. Million.
My God.
And that is a population of Congo.
Only
it
Congo? Because it's a population like, well, to me, I thought it's even West Africa.
So, and I also did a brief analysis and research about the children that are out of school.
Yes.
And it was giving me a figure of around 18 plus million.
My God, my God.
That is the population of so many African countries.
I know.
And we look at what is happening in the country. It's not as if the country is suffering from financial dilemma or something that the country is suffering from an economical crisis. But we see that the country keeps on borrowing. We make a lot of money every single year. Our GDP is very high. But yet, we cannot address the plight of the average Nigerian child. And it is something that is very annoying. Of recent, dear President bought 12 fighter jets. 12 fighter jets worth more than $600 million. And we ask ourselves, why are you buying fighter jets? To do what? You have not financed the 18 plus million children that are out of school. You have not financed the 11 million children that are suffering from severe poverty. And for them to give a round figure of 11 million that are suffering from severe poverty, that means the 11 million are homeless.
Jesus God.
They are not feeding. We're not even talking of education. They don't even dream of education. They are into child labor. And we look at this and we ask ourselves, what is the government doing about it? Because every single time they want to say something or they want to take an act, they don't care. They're nonchalant about it. And it's very annoying. The corruption has gotten into the system that they don't even care of their posterity. The children are the future of Nigeria. Yes.
I heard that one when I was younger, that we were the future. Till now, wrinkles. That's like this. When I go future, they don't take us as the future.
Exactly.
Because if you did, that's where your concentration would be.
Exactly.
Who is looking after his present? His future that people are looking after concentrate. Do you really think the government sees the children as the future of Nigeria?
They don't. And when we look at the first world countries like Japan, China, they prioritize their children.
Absolutely.
Education system is beyond standard, whereby they were that from 1945 till now, they were able to go over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and they are doing well because education was their number one priority. They were removing the low standard lives and making their children comfortable, and that is why they are where they are today. It is not because of too much brain or because of too much money or because of too much resources. Only Nigeria alone, our mineral resources is more than that of China. China that has more than 2-point-something billion people.
Population.
So, but yet, we don't concentrate, we don't care. The politicians don't care. The people in federal government offices, they don't care. They only care about the present. They only care about what they can gain. They only care about how their children is faring, which is seriously absurd. Children, they just passed yesterday, and it was a time for me to sit down and ask myself, what is the future going to be like? How is the future going to appear with this present day Nigeria? A Nigeria where corruption is the order of the day, and the children are very smart.
Yeah,
they are very, very smart.
Yeah.
When they see something, they want to be like that. So if the country is like this now, it will be far more worse if change is not taken. It will be more worse than Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because Hiroshima and Nagasaki was just a bomb. Anyone can recover from a bomb as far as you have resources, you have good planning, you have economists. But this is a cancer that is killing everyone. The leaders are corrupt down to the local level. Now it's even entering the NGOs, entering the school system. They are saying that they want to give a 3 years ban for anyone who cheats, and they are not even watching themselves. They are so shameless to go down.
Shameless. I was reading it. I was like, you say you want to give the student who cheated? Who cheated? It's even his parents. Their parents are the one who even organized the cheating. You want to give them a 3-year ban, while you are floating 4-year term. I mean, 16-year term inside the. Oh no, sorry. I thought it was only me. I was like, are these shameless? Brazen. That's why we were thinking, why don't they just remove the immunity? That way, to me, I would say, if you remove immunity, will we getting rid of impunity?
Well, the immunity clause is to protect those good leaders which I have not seen yet, is to protect good leaders who may want to, who they might want to vandalize, or they want to, but the problem now is not a problem of immunity, it's a problem of federal character. They have so brought themselves low to the extent of Nigeria has become a world scandal. The world no more value us as how they valued us in 1999. They no more see us as people to respect because of how the government has put it to be. So I'm watching out, I'm looking out, I'm saying, why don't the government want to change? Even if there's no system in this world, there's no country in this world that is not corrupt. China is corrupt in their own level. Right. America is corrupt in their own level.
Right.
But they have conscience. They take care of their citizens. They take care of their people. And when they want to even do their corruption, nobody cares. Everybody gives a blind eye because the system is working.
They actually don't, because if you're caught in corruption in China, you're gone.
You're gone. Yes.
No, you're gone. This one you're not even going to jail them.
Yes.
So I mean. They don't even, it's because you can get away with it. It's capital punishment straight. In fact, not even corruption. In fact, anything that affects human life. For instance, anybody caught in China, if you're caught involved in adulterating things like food, baby food especially, because like you said, they prioritize the young ones coming up. If you adulterate baby food, you're gone. if you adulterate food stuff, generally you're going. It's only when they come here where they know,
Yes.
justice, and then there you dare not try what you're doing here. So these Chinese nationals, you need to wake up. We're also human beings.
Exactly.
Okay, let me just give you that story because you were saying, look at all the scandals they're doing. Ex-PDP chairman's son, accomplice, jailed 14 years for 2.2 billion. That was then, when billion, we were not calculating billion. The highest was million. Their subsidy scam. So subsidy itself was a scam. Then you now added a scam to the scam. They were taking two, and let's see the guy, his name is Maman Ali, the son of Ahmadu Ali, former PDP chairman. So on this note though, let's give kudos to EFCC. The EFCC has really impressed in recent times. Because usually a son of a former party chairman, he'd be riding away with the money now. He'd be floating away with it. But now they did the investigation so well. See what the judge said. They said here that they claim not guilty. The judge said categorically that the EFCC, the judge was Justice Mojisola Dada. She held that the EFCC had successfully proven their case. She said that the the evidence presented by the prosecution was compelling and proved that the charge was against the convicts and acted on it, which in times past we had where there was evidence and everything against a governor, James Ibori, and he just went scot-free from Dubai to the UK. It's in the UK he was charged for corruption in Nigeria. It's Nigeria he did the corruption, but was charged and found there. Over here, he just went scot-free. So this is a new one. We must go. I think we should give kudos to the EFCC.
Well, I don't actually commend the EFCC because it took them long enough to bring this out. And also, it's when you look at the government that is in power, it is APC. That is the party that is in power. And we all know the tantrum that is going between APC and PDP. So even when we study EFCC, they obey the present government. They do everything in order to satisfy and gratify the present government. So whatever they do, even this, there are still more that have stolen more than this.
They're looking for them.
They are looking for them, but they know they have their list. But they cannot do anything because they are not allowed to.
No, that's no.
For me, I believe.
No,
that is what I believe.
No. Let me just say, because I don't work with the EFCC, but look at it this way, right? The immediate past administration was APC as well.
Yes.
But we have Emefiele. He's still under lock and key. Plus, this estate that's linked to him has been seized. It's about to be. There's a committee overseeing it. So it's not like they're hunting after like PDP corrupt people. So from what we see, you can see that they're like looking out for corruption itself. Unlike in times past, where when PDP comes in or APC comes in, all the corrupt people will be in PDP. When PDP is in, all the corrupt people they clamp down will be APC. But we're seeing, cross-board action on the part of EFCC right now, and I think that is commendable and a breath of fresh air in the midst of all the horrors we're seeing. For instance, this business of loans. I forgot to tell you, if you're watching us, he's an economist, a trained economist, and he's actually a digital marketer as well. So Daniel, we're going to pick Daniel's brains on this, because some people think, look, well, America's borrowing, they live in debt. Some others think, the UK is borrowing, they live in debt. But what's the debt used to fund? Some say, well, it's the same thing. You're using it for things that are consumer, but are the consumer things they're using them for the people's benefit? That should be the bottom line, because the purpose of government is the welfare and the protection of citizens.
Exactly.
So I don't feel really bad if America is owing a huge ton of money and then all their medical systems are working, all their judicial system are working. I mean, nothing is ever working 100%, but it's workable. And then the Medicare,
Medicaid.
What you're talking about, you have a car crash, a baby fell out, and helicopter will come and pick the baby. They don't want to know if it's a president's baby.
Exactly.
They take the baby to the hospital. Everything's working to clockwork. Transportation available, right? And they're borrowing. But we're borrowing all this money, and there's no light. There's no water. There's no security. Then the schools are horrible.
Very horrible.
Food, if we have food insecurity, we don't have food security. So, some people just want, why are we borrowing? So what's your take on all the borrowing? Because we can see that the NAS is all set to approve the loans. But for the rest of the Nigerians, I was listening to the radios. We were coming to the office this morning. Everybody's like, oh, we don't know what the money is being borrowed for. We don't know, there's so much debt on ground. You would have thought money should be used to repay, but we're borrowing to add on to it. So like you said about our future generations, is our grandchildren now going to come and pay this debt? Because all those people are in post now. How will they stay to pay the debt? What do you think? Because you're an economist. Is this a good economic model? Or, is there better we could do?
Well, I am not...
I know, I've asked you 20 questions in one, but I know you're capable.
Yes. I am not against borrowing.
Me neither. No, get it right, please. I am not against borrowing.
Yes.
2, I'm not against government borrowing.
Exactly.
Let's get that right. Go on.
Because borrowing is even a term in government expenditure and revenue. So when we are looking at borrowing, we should see why they borrow. Do they want to finance economic deficits, or do they want to finance the present inflation? And if they do so, it's not just in words.
Please let me get that, please. Economics 001. Do we want to finance
the economic deficits?
Economic deficits, or do we want to finance?
Or do we want to finance the inflation?
Inflation.
Yes.
My goodness, man, you have the questions. Let's continue.
So,
thank you.
If we do want to finance these things, and then we will not just do that and the news will carry it and the papers will carry it, we will see changes. The devaluation of Naira will stop, and we will also see that things are going well. The numbers of uneducated children keeps on growing year by year, statistically. The numbers of poverty, those in severe poverty, keeps on growing year by year.
Oh, you forgot something else, honey. Before it was the numbers of people in poverty, but guess what we're having now? Multi-dimensional poverty.
Exactly.
So your poverty is now impoverished.
So, and also, not only those, we also have insurgency and insecurity.
Right.
So what are they exactly doing? Because we hear they are borrowing, we also hear they are stealing.
Oh, good.
We hear they are borrowing, we also hear that the EFCC is chasing this politician, and corruption keeps on increasing as their loan keeps on increasing. Of recent, Tinubu, our dear President Tinubu, he paid back 3-point-something billion naira to IMF. But then, that is in miniature. I don't even think it's up to 10% of what we are owing globally. And I'm not even talking of the one that we have borrowed from the ADB or the intracontinental sources.
China Exim Bank.
So, what are they exactly doing? Because things are still getting worse. 2025 is worse than 2024. 2024 was worse than 2023. But yet they keep on borrowing. Of recent, like I said before, our dear president bought fighter jets. And yet the insurgency keeps on spreading. The North are suffering day by day. They are suffering from this terrorist group called Boko Haram, more under their banner. There's villages, local governments are being taken captive by this criminal, by this terrorist group. The number one most futile terrorist group in the whole world is Boko Haram, and it's in our dear country, Nigeria. The North are suffering every single day, but we keep on borrowing. We can't deal with just one situation. I'm not talking of, okay, you borrowed trillions of dollars, and I'm not talking of, okay, finance everything, which the money is able to do, even though the duration and the time may fail you, but the money is able to do. Finance just wants at least security. At least security. Let us have a free trade economy. Let people be able to go to the village, farm their product, bring it to the city and sell. But farmers are being killed.
I know. I love it.
It's very absurd. We see poverty even in the state capital. There's still insecurity and poverty, and we see that the only people enjoying from this present economy is the bureaucrats and the party themselves, the party members. They are enjoying well. Their pockets are being fed well. They have this exuberance because they are being fed well from the money that's supposed to go to the normal and mediocre Nigerian citizen. That is what they are being fed on, and it's very annoying. Recently, countries are borrowing. You can't compare Nigeria to China. Right. China debt is high. The US, their debt is high, but they have a working system. They have jobs. They have Medicaid packages that you work, you pay them every month, and your health is secured. You can never say that the health system in America is bad for over 2 decades now. You can never hear that. Maybe you can hear of little misconception of gender analysis and misconception of corruption, something of the senators, but you can never hear them complain of standard of living. Standard of living is highly removed from their complaints. Nigeria, we are not even talking of the health center. That is something that maybe in the next 3 or 5 years we should be concerned of. We are talking of the average man. Let us breathe.
Let them breathe. Well, our president said it now. He said, please now, political class, please allow the poor to breathe. Upon that, they didn't listen to it.
To breathe.
They didn't let us breathe. Would they? The non-political class were not allowed to breathe in the end. Because we saw how one House of Representative member nearly strangled and beat to death a Bolt member when he went to bring snails. Peppered snail is what he sent for. And because he didn't get the address right, he said, oh, please, could you come out and identify if that's your package? And he nearly massacred the guy. Honestly, do you know who I am? Do you know who you're talking to? Do you know what is on? Just for peppered snails. That you've eaten it. Just felt like eating peppered snail. Just okay, let me call Bolt. Call my caterer. Bring peppered snail, make I whack. That's what you wanted to kill someone else over.
They forgot that they are the one that are serving the people.
No, we're serving them.
They forgot that the people, the 227 million populace.
Oh, we're 227 million
yes, now. As of 2024.
Wonderful.
The 227 populace.
227
they are the one who are enriching them. The 227 populace, without them, Nigeria is nothing. That is why we are the giant of Africa, because of every single poor child, because of every single mediocre farmer, because of every single person that is situated in this country. Only the rich cannot be in Nigeria.
I know.
There will be serious malady. Only the rich cannot contain this whole Nigeria. There will be serious chaos.
I feel you. Well, it's at the top of the hour. Let me just interrupt you there, because this is the time when we bring, our constituency into this discussion, or else we'll get carried away because you have so much. So those are the numbers coming up on the screen. Yay! That's our technical crew is always on point. Thank you very much. So those are the numbers. Just hit the phone. We're here to take your calls, and you can engage Daniel one-on-one as well on any of these topics that we've raised. If it's about children's aid, if it's about the debt, if it's about all this corruption, just center it on what we've been talking about, please. And when you call, please don't make me keep saying the same thing. You already know it if you're a regular caller. Turn down the volume of your television set or walk away from your television set. And when you call, tell us your name, where you're calling from, hit your point, and then many people will be taken, and we can all have a feel and a sense of having our say. Don't forget, this is your program. Your say matters. It matters to us, and people in authority listen to this program. So please get it right when you call, and everyone will hear what you have to say. Okay, right. As I wait for our caller number one, like I always tell people, I'm sure they're tired of hearing, I used to work in radio, so that when the first caller comes in, we ring the bell, do everything. It's always exciting, because the first caller seems to be like a good luck talisman. After that, calls just start colliding.
Yes.
When calls, everybody wants to call in and give their opinion once they hear one person's voice. So that first caller is always very, very important. Okay, Daniel, Daniel. Daniel, how many times have I called your name? Like that wise Daniel in the Bible. I just want to ask you something because, you know, I used to say this on my radio show and I got abused for it. I said, you know, when I was growing up, my father especially, used to draw our ears where he just said, all of you have one child each. One child. You're all to have one child. And when I said that on the radio, said, oh, they were so full of abuses. They're like, oh, would you be here? Would you even be here if he was just going to do one child? Oh, you know, this all that is nonsense and all that and all that. What do you think about, you know, that trajectory? Because for me, I think he's so spot on. All the countries that implemented the one-child policy when their populations were burgeoning are doing fantastically well. I went to India for medical tourism. Imagine, I'm in Nigeria, going to India. So theoretically, third world to third world for medical tourism, because they have so perfected their medical, and then it's a one-child policy.
Yes.
And it's working like magic because they also have a burgeoning population. If you leave them, they will be in the other room.
Yes. So you see, it's a matter of statistics. China, who has this one-child policy too, their population is more than 2 point something billion. Yes, and there is no really enough resources to match the population, and that is why they put in this one-child policy. When we look at a country like Nigeria, we have, permit me to say this, we have surplus. Surplus of resources.
You're joking? We have surplus of resources?
Yes, we have surplus of resources.
No, are you joking?
I'm not. That can manage this country even in the next 20 years, even if we don't engage in intercontinental trade. That resources will sustain us for the next 20 years. Look at Zimbabwe. It's yesterday I was just watching the news. Zimbabwe found $12 trillion worth of gold in their country.
True.
And watch Zimbabwe now. Watch Zimbabwe next year, next 2 years. Nothing will come out.
Yeah.
Because of why? Imperialism and colonial influence.
They'll all want to suck it out of
They'll all want to take it out of Africa. What does the United Kingdom have? What do they have to brag about? Nothing but coal. But yet they are like the first world country. And then we look at countries in Africa. We have every single thing, from agriculture to land, from land to resources, from resources to population. Like the one-child policy you say, even if Nigeria population was up to 1 billion, we will still, the one-child policy should not be, will I say it should not be implemented because our resources can match our population. But it is just left for the government to do the right thing. Not to vandalize us, not to engage in corruption, but to do the right thing. We have so much in the working population from 18 to 65. We have so much there. But yet, 15% or even 20% are unemployed. Why? Is it that there is no money to finance infrastructural developments or to push in industrialization? Is it that? Or just because of mismanagement and corruption? It still falls back on the government. Everything, the central appetite of every single thing is the bad governance. That is it.
Yeah, but that being said, then why are we going to define governance? If the government that is the arbiter, define this government, and that government is you. I'm the government. So I'm thinking, is there no responsibility placed upon like a Nigerian parent? For instance, I've had an interview once with a reverend sister, and she has this voluntary association where she has a voluntary school, and she says the students in her school are poor students who come from poor homes and their parents can't pay the children's school fees. Is it government then? You are poor, your wife is even poor, so together both of you are combined poor people. Why are you having all these children? Because you can't even, listen, for you as an individual, the money with you should be enough to keep you as one.
Yes.
So by the time you approach a lady to me for marriage, it means the money with you is enough to feed two.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
Exactly.
And adding man and woman, what is coming out? It's not picking sweet. So shouldn't you then, so you don't have enough for you. You're always worrying your boss. Sir, I've not eaten. Sir, there's hunger. You don't have enough for you. You now add a wife, and then you have all these children, and then you don't send them. Where is government inside? Is it government that's going to tell you? You should know now. Fish should know their water level. You already know you are poor now. You're poor. Then you married a poor lady from a poor home, so you are very poor. You people are poor people. Then you now have all these children. To me, is that still government?
No, it's a matter of mentality and ethics, whereby the Nigerian mentality is to, well, I say, to spread abroad, like what the Bible says. Yeah, but we should understand the current government.
Exactly.
We should understand the system, the economic system. We should understand that this is not a time to be having superfluous of children, and then we should try and make ourselves better, so that when we become better, nobody will query you.
Yes.
If you have 20
children, yeah,
and you are taking care of them well, none of them is hawking, none of them is begging, none of them is going into armed robbery or indecent forms of business. They will not query you. But they give birth, especially mostly in the north. They give birth to so much, and yet they can't take care of
you, the person that is giving the birth. You can't take care of your own self. It's like
so
we have a caller. I'm trying everything to pick it. Caller, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. You're our first caller. I'm so excited. I've been struggling to pick your call. Right. Morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
This is Raimi from Abuja.
Hi, Rami from Abuja.
Thank you.
Caller number one. All my excitement is on you.
Let me join the guest and your program to say congratulations to our children. May the Lord protect every one of them and defend them from the evil in the land in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Continuing from there today, I want to tag my conversation as the breeding of insecurity by way of injustice. You see, we are talking about our children.
Yeah.
Even the parent, we the parent, like your guest just said, even we the parent cannot take care of ourselves now. And then we are talking about our children. This is a serious issue. We are breeding serious issue ahead of us. Our parents had made some mistakes that we felt we should correct on and off. But today, instead of correcting them, we are creating more. I will take you through a few things that happened in recent times.
Okay.
Just very recently, you watch a video of a policeman asking for 5,000 naira or 5 liters of fuel in Benin.
Daniel watched it?
No, I've not.
Okay. Yeah, it's viral. Just click after this program.
Okay,
You
no
just
problem.
see it. Yeah, continue.
And I want to tell you that happened in Benin. But in Abuja here, military men are taking money from people anything from 10 p.m. here in Abuja. It has happened to me several times.
So what you do is record it, because now you're saying it just becomes an allegation. Record it.
Yes.
Record it.
Yes,
We'll put it up.
This is allegation from Abuja. But the one that have been publicly shown from Benin is no more allegation, right?
Yeah. Go on with that
And
one.
it's still Nigeria. If an evil is bred in Benin, it can affect FCT.
It has affected. From what you said, it's just time for you to record it. It has affected.
So now, that aside, if you look at what is happening in here, I don't want to be going far. I want to stay within Abuja. If you look at what is happening in Abuja, yesterday, somebody, because of his political interest, the FCT minister, was busy shopping everywhere because of his political interest. And now, the president say suspend it for a few days ahead. And people are clapping. Is that what it should be? Don't we have law that you say this should be, this should not be? This is a high display of injustice. What is right, the law should be able to place it blue white and black to say this is right, this is not right.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Because as long as we
wrap up
continue
your
in
thoughts
this
so other
manner,
people can call in.
our children are the one that is going to take the risk of
Absolutely.
the fruit that will come out of what we are seeing.
We agree
doing
with you
right now.
wholeheartedly.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Raimi. Raimi is saying we got to watch out. What we're doing, we're sowing evil seeds into the future. And who are the future? Our children. So, yeah, you were telling us that, we have another caller. Let's just take this caller. Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Jibril calling from Abuja.
Pardon?
I'm Jibril calling from Abuja.
Jibril, you're welcome.
Good morning.
Morning.
So happy New Year for the new young youth. Abi, how we call it?
Let's just call it like that.
You see, somebody, the man with you, Daniel, Abi, how we call him?
We call him Daniel.
No. Daniel, okay. You can see, with you alone, you cannot feed yourself in Nigeria as these days. Let's say you are living in Yaba to Use every day. You must take meal of even just say 1,000 naira.
Is there a meal of 1,000 naira?
I say the meal of from here to Nyanya, go come every day is 2,000 naira. From Nyanya to central area, it's 2,000 naira. That is after you drop, you must have to go to another place. That's one minus. He was complaining. He was saying that some people burn plenty. Even you get you and your husband alone, you cannot manage the money they are paying. Everybody know that. Don't carry the complaint to that area. The area is that government is not working.
Huh? Who is government? Who is government?
Okay,
Are you not government?
yes. What I mean by government is not working is that now there's somebody government is democracy is the system of government that me and you, Abi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now somebody that's at the head now is not doing the right thing. That's what I say. That's what I mean to say.
Yeah, but what I mean to say, get my point. The person at the head is not doing the right thing. You are at the head of your own family. You're the head of your own home. Why are you, with the little money with you, dishing out 6 poor children into an already failed system with a bad government? Why are you doing that?
And let me tell you, that's what I'm trying to explain.
All right,
right
please.
now,
Yes.
I don't have anybody. Me and my wife.
Right.
We step with the money the federal government is paying now. It cannot take us a month. Is that the problem of family?
No.
And authority say bet for.
No.
Okay, you cannot take care of yourself, your husband. How can you take care of your baby? You see, so that's the area I'm going.
Yes.
You should not blame somebody that is born in olden days when they marry plenty and born plenty. They have farm. If the farm gone, there's farm in the village. But can somebody enter the farm?
You can't.
No. That is number one. Number two, right here now, we are in Abuja. Costs of light, petrol, everything you can think of is exactly.
Right.
How do we do? Do we move out of Nigeria? Do we move out of the life?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about, that there's no concern about our standard of living. And then there's no concern about cost of living. In fact, that you're just echoing what he said earlier, that government really needs to look into that. And I'd agree with you, because it's reached a point that Naira has had no value. So if someone gives you 1 million Naira, you know, back in the day, you'd become a millionaire. But today, if someone gives you 1 million Naira, you'd look around and think, where did that money go? Bills. Regular bills.
Naira has no value, but somebody that developed the Naira.
Yeah.
It's someone that removed the subsidies.
Yeah.
And to remove it, there must be something that be in place to help.
Right. Something should be in place to help. Thank you very much for your take. That is Jubril. So he's like pushing the ball back to Michael. Like, yeah, he has a point though. I mean, even if it was just one person and just that person and his wife, there's still no interest in a standard of living such that, you know, all the bottoms are taken out of you. Exactly. For instance, like now we're going to this lesser Hajj. Some people will try to travel and they won't be able to. The cost will be so high. And you're wondering, so where is this CNG? Where is this? Where are the things you talked about? So, yeah, he has a valid point. But, maybe you could expand on that, because my point now is that there is the place for the government. I agree, even if it was just you and your wife. But there's also the place for you, because already you've seen it's bad now. You've already seen it's bad. What's the need of bringing more people to suffer in the bad place? Why don't you and your wife start lobbying? Maybe lobby your House of Reps member. Look, House of Reps member, you have got to ensure there's a medical facility right where I am, because I'm not going to pay money, thousands of naira, to central area to go to the national hospital. There should be a primary health care facility here, which is already budgeted for in the local government.
Exactly.
So if the governor is swallowing it, that's not my business. You need to do, things like that. That's what needs to be done. What do you think?
Yeah, I understand his point of view, that there's a time for government.
Right.
There's a time for people.
No, that's my point of view. His own is that the whole thing is the government.
He's trying to quote you, but in a more different way.
Okay.
Yes, in a more different way.
Okay.
I understand what he's saying. He said even if the people
We're not
don't give
there
birth to
to
6
anybody.
children, don't even give birth to
that same
they
you
are
and
still
your wife.
suffering
Yeah.
from poverty.
Yeah. No.
So we still come back to the government.
Right.
In first world countries like Canada, we see the system of UBI, Universal Basic Income, where they test run it. They gave some of their low income earners, they give them income each month.
Yes.
They gave them income each month. They test run it, and they see they were able to balance the standard of living between the capital class and the income class.
Right.
So, but in Nigeria, we see an anarchy state.
Right.
A state that has
an anarchy state. Yes.
a state that has no law, a state that has no independence of judiciary, a state that the judge looks at who is more richer, who is more influential, who has the power, who is the power broker. That is what the judges look at. So let's even digress from poverty. Let's leave poverty alone. Poverty can be treated with the bringing in of a better government. Let us look mainly at injustice, like what he said and what the former caller said to, and the independence of judiciary. One of the main problems with Nigeria is that as the executives, the political leaders, the governors, the senators are corrupt, the judiciary has failed us. They are also corrupt,
Yes.
which is not meant to be so. The judiciary is meant to be a place where the people can go and find succor, a place where the people will go and get a good judgment for their plea. But no, we see a system where I was just even talking with my brother early this morning, and I said even if you were going to report a criminal case in this present day Nigeria, they are going to detain you. They're going to arrest you for bringing up that criminal case, and until they find that person, they will not let you go. So the system has been plundered. There is no right or wrong anymore. There is only rich and poor. It has affected. There need to be a rewriting. Our constitution is even good. Our constitution is, will I say, perfect, but they don't interpret it. They don't follow the basic principles that govern it. We see the House of Senate. We see how they flow with their sessions. We see forgive me to say this, but we see the rubbish that they do. We see how the president bought jet of $150 million for his own personal use, and people are still suffering severely. So honestly, I do understand what he's saying. That part is the part of the government. That part is the part of our judicial system, is the part of our legislative system, because when they have failed to put the right in right and to put the wrong in wrong, we see anarchy. We see a system of anarchy. Nigeria is not a democratic state. I pity for anyone who still believes in 2025 that Nigeria is a democratic state. Nigeria is not a democratic state. They do what they want. They rig their elections. In a state of not less than 3,000 people, you are getting 5,000 votes for just one person. So we say the system has completely been plundered. The system has been completely plundered. And we also take, for instance, like what he said, the man and the wife, they are not able to engage in economic trade. They are not able to engage in their day-to-day economic life because of what? Because of what? The system has failed them. Oh, I've been saying it for quite a long time now. The system has failed because, number one, the government doesn't want to change.
Government doesn't want to change, number one.
Number two, it is not today they started. It is not even in 1999.
Yeah,
it is not in our dear Sani Abacha time that they started.
Right. Let's take this call. Pause your thoughts because I want to get to number end. So I'll get to the root cause. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Captain Television.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel. Is it Daniel your guest?
Yes.
Okay.
Wise Daniel.
I've been with you since the program started.
Oh, nice to know.
I'm just enjoying the flow this morning.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad that young Nigerians like Daniel knows exactly what is happening to this country. And everybody knows this, including the leaders. But the problem is that the leaders of this country do not have this country in their hearts.
That's one of the problems. The second problem is we don't know your name. We don't know where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is John. I'm calling from Abuja.
Abuja. Wow. Yeah. Your plan for us today. You're welcome.
So the biggest problem of this country is the leaders. Our leaders do not have this country in their heart. They only have their own interests in their hearts. Whenever they get to power, all they need is to get to power and then grab whatever they want and do whatever they want to do with it. If they have this country at heart, all the countries they fly to, today France, tomorrow London, next tomorrow Germany, all around, and they go and see how the economy of these people are stable. They will have settled down here and make that happen here. So because just like what that young man said, they will have everything. Nigeria is blessed with everything, both human and natural resources, that we don't need to look elsewhere. We can develop our country ourselves. We have the human power, we have the natural resources to make all these things. We are even the one that will even attract these foreigners to our country and give them our own terms on how they will operate
exactly
if things are going right in Nigeria. But because our leaders, our leaders have poverty mentality. Their mind is poor. They don't know. They have all what they control. They don't know how to make it work so that everybody in this country will benefit from it. All they know is just how to loot the money. Now they are talking about getting another securing another loan. Right.
Well, let's not talk of what they're talking about. We're out of time. So wrap up your thoughts. We're out of time. Wrap up your thoughts.
All right. Well, what I'm just trying to say is the future of this country lies in the hand of the young ones today. Until we get together and know how to just do the right thing by not just sitting down and folding our hands, that will keep on watching. If we sit down and keep watching, this is how these people will continue to maltreat. So we have to rise to our feet and do the right thing. In the next election, I will encourage all young people to come out and vote the right person. Thank you.
And also contest now. You don't encourage them to contest.
No,
they keep voting.
There's no problem. When the right person comes out, we will support. When we see the right person, we will know.
Okay.
Politicians that are decanting from one place to another just because of their own interest. When the right one comes out, we will know and we will follow that.
Okay. Thank you very much, John. John is saying, listen, you know, we've got to all do the right thing because of the future of our children, which is exactly, that was your theme when you came up, that look, the future is the young ones, the future of the children. The government needs to realize it because they're acting like they don't. Okay, so being in line with our theme of the May 27, which is the Children's Day. But another thing happened actually on May 27, and that was the birthday of a Nigerian politician. Why we're mentioning him specifically is because his political trajectory was very, very different from the others. You know, I was a former local government chairman, then I became a house member, and then I became, he went through all that, but I mean, his trajectory was so convoluted that you can see that, man, this one is like a maverick. We're talking about Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi. May 27 made him 60 years of age. There he is on your screen. You know, he went, you know, like, first of all, he started out actually as an aide to a former governor, talking about Governor, I think, Odile, and then went contested, got into the House of Assembly in his state, and rose to be a two-time speaker. So he was the Speaker of the House of Assembly in Rivers State before actually coming to contest for the governorship. So that's a switch from the legislative to the executive.
Exactly.
And won. But that's where everything went funny. Because then, you know, with all this party drama, he, from nowhere, I remember President Obasanjo came out and said, look, you know, there's some K-leg. He said, you have this K-leg to it. And then unilaterally handed the ticket to another person, Celestine Omehia. Can you believe this? When there are party primaries and everything. So he went into exile, talking about Amaechi, went into exile and came back. All the courts found everything out of order, and he was sworn and said, listen, a ticket is given to a party, it's not given to an individual. PDP won in Rivers, so PDP is a duly sworn in governor. So that's how he was sworn in on 5th of October 2007 to become a two-term governor of Rivers State. Funny though, he vacated this seat on the 24th of May, 5-month lacuna against our constitution. But Amaechi is not the type of person to bother about things like that. So he left, and his successor, current Federal Capital Ministry, Nyesom Wike, was sworn in as governor. And he went on to become the Minister of Transportation. It's under him these rail lines were really jacked up and moving, you know, efficiently. And now he's gone. I don't know what's really happening. So he was very, very passionate about rail line, which was something he was actually doing in his state. He was trying to do the blue rail transportation. So as a transportation minister from 2015 to 2022, he voluntarily resigned. 9th of April 2022, he announced that he's going for the presidency. Under his party, APC, went in for the primaries, and against all odds, we're talking about a Vice President Osibanjo contested. Big heavyweights contested. He came second. It was Tinubu first, him second. So, you know, I tell you, so he's had all this trajectory. When he was a governor, he won Nigeria Governors Forum president. So it was like the president of the Nigerian Governors Forum. Suddenly, from nowhere, they said, no, 17 is higher than 25, and nudged him out. That was how the Governors Forum was split into APC and PDP. Suddenly, known PDP state went into APC. That's how he was one of the founding people who started when APC came up, and he was a leading light in it. So he's had such a rocky, his own has not been, Godfather push you in, Godfather help you there. His own has been rocky. So he's more, should I say, more with the people, because he can feel when these things happen, he's at home. Some of them, he said he was locked in his hotel room in Ghana. His children couldn't go to school. They were all just sitting there watching. Suddenly, they got news from Nigeria and said, oh, you know what? Come in, you're going to be sworn in. So it's been very melodramatic. So let's see. 60 happy years. He clocked 60. And what can we say? Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi, 60 more happy years to you of service to Nigeria. You've done your part. You can continue wherever you are. You've got 60 more years to go. 120 is what is doable for service to the country. Daniel Okechukwu, can I thank you enough? Thank you very much. You've put so much insights onto so many of these topics. We just pray that our leaders listen. And you maybe give your last word. Give your last word.
Okay. So, thank you for having me once again. I really appreciate this moment. And it's a very good thing to be a citizen of Nigeria. but we find ourselves in a very bad part in history. But all we can do is to just build ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, and we hope be optimistic for the future. And we guide our children the most we can, teaching them values, teaching them morals, teaching them ethics. Because only you, as a mother, as a father, can do what the governors, the president cannot do. And that is to teach your children morals. That is to teach your children the way not to digress from the ethics that they are born with. So thank you once again. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so what can I do but say my thank yous to all the people who contributed. We want to thank you, Ihayi. I have to thank you, Yira. I want to thank you, Mr. Sue. I've got to thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, and all of those who called in. Thank you very much for being a part of this program. You viewing at home, we value your time. We hope we made it worth your while. I'll be back again on Friday morning, but stay on with Kaftan Television. We have lots of programs lined up for you today. So have a beautiful midweek day and a lovely Children's Week. I'm Mickey Etta. Bye. Bye.